Welcome back to my channel, you guys. It's me, CMZ News. I know I've been missing for quite some time, but trust me, I have kept up with all the latest Scandival stuff, and I have so many thoughts. I've been really active on like Instagram and just like my other like pages and sharing my thoughts and all the new tea and the trailers and everything coming out. And not to mention, there has just been so many scenes that just left me like WTF over the last couple episodes that I haven't recapped. So I apologize. I kind of want to do a video where I talk about some of those scenes, like the camping scene, but before I get into that, like, comment, and subscribe. I did hit 50 subscribers. Thank you so much. My friend Christy, I think, was my 50th subscriber. So thank you so much. But you know what? I'm going to go ahead and just kick back straight into it. I'm going to recap the latest episode. And then if I can, I will get to some of my thoughts about what I've missed over the last couple of weeks. And I'm, even with this episode, I'm going to go scene by scene, but I'm not going to, I want to try to get through this a little fast because it's been a bit of a struggle. And tomorrow, this is Tuesday night. I got to watch Real Housewives of New Jersey tonight. And we have the big episode tomorrow, which is the reveal. So this new episode that premiered was last week was actually supposed to be the finale until Scandival broke and they got the cameras and the rest is history. So we start off this scene at there's something about her where Katie and Ariana are going to have a small food tasting. They're talking a little bit about the night before. Ariana had a conversation with Lala, and that's another thing I would want to talk about if I can get to it. Basically, that whole business with the Labor Day and Sandoval not coming home after her grandma, when she found out her grandma died because, he was at that Labor Day party. Sheena's blog actually made it into the show, the last episode. But so they're talking about that, and Ariana is just like, look, it wasn't that big a deal, playing it off as she always does because she does not want her relationship to be a storyline. Unfortunately, it's become the biggest storyline in Bravo history. But she kind of says, look, I'm not going to be mad at Lala for asking, but I was happy with how everything worked out, and that's that. Then we have a scene of Raquel and Charlie, and they're going shopping, and they're talking about like random things. Raquel doesn't think James is really, or she thinks James is more into Allie than she is into him. She also, at that point, she brings up like that she's done trying to be friends with Katie and Lala. She's done caring what they think because she, just had this bomb camping trip with her lifelong friends, and those are her true friends. And, this is this girl's like definition of true friends. I mean, it's pretty scary. But Raquel buys the infamous lightning matching necklace with her affair partner that Sandoval wears his lightning necklace, and Raquel bought hers, and it was $780. I'm thinking to myself, girl, I'm pretty sure on Amazon you could have got that for like $7, or maybe Sandoval has an extra one that you could have asked him, like, babe, can I like please have, an extra lightning so it could be like our little signal to each other. I'm sure he would have got her one, but $780, whatever. I don't buy jewelry like that. Then we have a scene with Tom and Schwartz, and they're talking again about Schwartz and Sandy's not opening. I'm like so over it. We know obviously it finally opens, but it's just annoying. And then Tom, cues up his ploy because it's very clear from this scene and then like another scene where Tom and Schwartz were at the food truck a couple episodes ago. Sandoval is planting the seeds about how unhappy he is in his relationship and how abused, he is by Ariana, and that he just does everything for her, from, like making her coffee and like, doing all this stuff. And Schwartz, being his wingman and his best friend, is playing along with it because obviously Schwartz at this point knows that he is cheating on Ariana with Raquel. So he's like talking about how he wants to go somewhere with Ariana, but she's just always so annoyed with him. And Schwartz in a talking head chimes in and says that like, relationships are funny. I just noticed there's like a lack of, and mind you, he wasn't even looking at the camera. He was like, there's just a lack of intimacy with them. And there's just, I don't know, like they never touch. They just seem like really out of touch. And then Sandoval mentions, that he's the one who buys the toilet paper and the batteries in the drawer, and there's pens in the drawers, and it's all because of him, and that Ariana just doesn't do anything for him. Okay, Tom, that's like the most basic thing anybody can do. Like literally I could go across the Dollar Tree and like get a roll, get pens. Like it's important to have those things around, but like he acts like that's equivalent to her like never saying she loves him or something. I don't know. It was stupid. It backfired. So I feel like all those little scenes are Sandoval trying to plant how Ariana's not a thoughtful person. She isn't sensitive. She is, annoyed with him, and that he just does all these thoughtful things. He's always thinking about her, because remember, they didn't intend for this affair to implode like this. I think he maybe at some point was going to break with her, or maybe push her to break up with him, and then voila, a couple months later he'd be with Raquel, and there was never any crossover, and they thought maybe everyone would support them the way everyone supported Ariana and Tom when they got together after Kristen's breakup, but that ain't happening. So we actually get a scene with Tom and Ariana having a conversation about their relationship, and I felt like, I don't know. I do think that Ariana likes to keep their drama off camera, because I really do feel like she was looking at him kind of like, we doing this right now? Like, are you legit bringing this up on camera? So he's like, first he's asking her about something about her. I always want to say stay-at-home mom whenever I say it's SAH, but when he sees something about, when they start talking about something about her, and he's like, can I help you with anything? She's like, no, just be there. And then somehow they get into the conversation about, the not coming home when her grandma died. He says, I just didn't think you'd want me there because I'd want to fix it. But like, you're always just so annoyed at my existence, and my presence annoys you. And she's like, okay, I've never used those words. She goes, I am annoyed sometimes at the situation, but I'm not annoyed at you. She's like, you keep saying that I'm annoyed with you, yet you're the person I keep begging to have more time with. She disagrees, and she's just like, I want quality time. And Tom's like, yeah, but like, we didn't even take any pictures at Sheena's wedding. And I'm not going to disregard him on that, because I think like what he's trying to point out is like, we're not acting like a normal couple who went to an event. Like, we didn't even take a picture together. Like, but she's thinking, it's not a red flag. I mean, okay, we didn't take any pictures together. Like, but I think, I don't like to take a lot of pictures, but I definitely, especially if we go out, I'll get my standard picture. My friend always laughs because me and my husband always take the exact same picture together every time. And I would have my standard, picture from us like here up. But Ariana says her definition of quality time is she wants to cook together. She wants to watch their shows. She wants to play music. And then Tom like starts kind of like pretend crying. And I swear to God, he like kind of like peeked with his eye. And I feel like Ariana was really just looking at him. And he's saying that he wants quality time. He's like, we only have sex 4 times a year. And she's like, I'm sorry, Tom, but I can't have sex with a stranger. Like, you're not going to just come home or be at the Abbey all night and then just come home and whip it out and we do it. And I feel like he's exaggerating that 4 times a year, because I think that maybe that wouldn't even be sufficient for Ariana. But I just feel like when it comes down to it, he's once again using these lame ass excuses. Like, this is a 10-year relationship. You're 40 plus years old. Let's be an adult. There is more to life and relationships than that. But like, obviously, if he was expressing certain things to her, maybe she should have listened. But I think history proves that he probably was cheating on her, not just with Raquel. He probably was cheating when he was on the road with his little band and different things. But she wants an activity. She wants to go for a walk. She wants to do those things I mentioned previously and not just go out and get drunk. And Tom's definition of them spending time together is partying, doing drugs. He tells her, you have fun with Logan, you go karaokeing. And she's like, you don't like the things we like. Like, you don't like to watch Love Island. And he's like, what? Like I don't like Beyonce? I thought that was so funny. And then he ends it with telling her in a very I felt it was sincere. He was like, I love you, but like in his weird narcissistic way, because you don't do what you're doing to someone that you love right in front of their face and in their home, right? So gross. I also want to point out that whole scene, they weren't touching each other. I'm thinking this is a very emotional scene. We're talking about we love each other. Like, they're, I just want time. There was no like rubbing of the leg. Like, they didn't, I mean, maybe it happened. I'm pretty sure you know, he said, I love you. Maybe they ended it with a hug or a kiss or something, but they didn't show it. So I kind of thought like their interaction, there's truth to things that are said about them, right? She wants the drama off the camera. They did operate very separately. But again, this was a 10-year relationship and they were definitely not connecting. It wasn't like that their whole relationship, you know, obviously. So then we get to here I go again. Something about her tasting. And I love Ariana's shirt she's wearing this scene. I just want to say it's so pretty to me, very feminine. And they are tasting a couple of their sandwiches, and it's just a really small tasting, and then they're going to go to Sir after this. And it's very, they did like a Greek salad, apparently that was amazing. I'll skip the rest of that because really it was just them eating the sandwiches. Allie comes, meets Lisa, I don't really care. They go to Sir after that to finish eating some more of the sandwiches come, and they have like seats and they have drinks. So Schwartz has a moment with Terry, which is Katie's mom, and she's really upset for Katie, and she's talking to him. And you could tell that Terry really loves Schwartz. She calls him Tommy. You know, this is her soon-to-be son-in-law. He's been in her life for 12 years, you know, on this unique experience with her daughter, living in a different state. So she probably really loves Tom. I just got, yes. Yes, Mommy? It's bedtime. No, go tell Daddy. Sorry, I'm trying to do this at bedtime, and she's doing her routine of I need this, I need that. I'm trying to get her to bed for like an hour. Anyway, sorry, real life person here. So where was I? Terry does seem to love him a lot, and you know, she's like, you know, you had a pact with Katie, and he's like, I know, but she'd like divorce me. And he admits that it wasn't worth it making out with Raquel. And especially he knows like it's still just a ruse and he's getting all this crap for it, rightfully so. But in his head, he's like, I'm not even the one with Raquel. I do not like Raquel. It's Tom. It's the other Tom. I'm sure he wishes he could say. And then, okay, so this is like the most diabolical scene ever. Raquel and Ariana have a scene together, and Ariana starts it off by telling, you know, Raquel that basically off and on this episode, Ariana was sharing how she feels so stuck in the middle with her friends that are not getting along, and it's stressful. She's in business with Katie. You've also got speculation about her relationship, and she's just like, I just don't want to deal with this. I don't want to be in the middle. Raquel's been nothing but sweet to me, which is really sad because Ariana freaking pumps her up so much. She's like, she's kind. She's been nothing but kind and loyal and beautiful. Even in the last episode, that crazy camping scene where this girl Ariana is hugging the female who is banging her man behind her back in her home, probably snuck out of the tent and, you know, diddled around with him and probably texting him like code words and their little inside looks and stuff. And she's hugging this hoe. Sorry. And she's just so supportive of her. And she tells Raquel that, you know, come here, come give me a kiss. You're fine. No, you're fine. Go upstairs, please. You're okay. Night, night. Go to bed, please. You're not scared. The light is on. It's not scary. Okay? You're in Mommy's bed. So please go lay down so Mommy can finish, and then I'll come, okay? Hey, this is not very, like, sir, this is not sexy, unique experience. It's just, sir, Vanderpump Rules in the restaurants, okay? I gotta do this. This is why I've been so behind. Okay, so, go ahead. Okay, so, she's pumping her up. She gets into, look, I understand why Katie feels the way she feels. I would feel the exact same way. And Raquel, I feel like she had this look. She was just like, in her head, she knows like, you'd feel the exact same way because I'm doing the exact same thing to you, but worse, right? So then like, I really want to reiterate, Raquel, it was like, nothing they were talking about had to do with Sandoval, but she instantly was like, hey, so how are you in Sandoval? And she's like, we're doing good, you know? And Raquel is like, do you remember how you told me, or you know, how I told you that me and James weren't having sex? Like, are you and Sandoval doing okay? And Ariana's like, yeah, we're kind of like going through it right now. It's a dry spell and this and that. And she's like, well, do you like think that's normal? And Raquel says, like, I feel like in a relationship, you like should like want to like have sex. And she's like cutting Ariana off. Like Ariana's trying to talk to her and like answer her. And it's like all she's thinking in her head is like, okay, I know in her head she's like, I'm trying to get to the bottom of if this MFer is telling me the truth about this relationship ending, right? So she's like asking Ariana questions, not genuinely because she cares, but she cares because she's banging her man. And she's like, okay, how much longer do I have to pretend and be the side piece for in this relationship that he claims is ending, right? So Ariana's talking to her. She's like, I mean, are you like still attracted to him? And she goes, yeah, oh my God, I think he's so hot. But it's like, he can't just come home and whip it out and I'm just gonna be like, yeah. She's like barely letting her finish. She's grilling her. And then Ariana admits that she still has insecurities. And she's like, oh my gosh, hold on. I'm back. Sorry about that. Mom life. Had to go get her settled. Okay. So where was I? Raquel and her investigation line of questioning, basically trying to catch Ariana and her man up in a lie. And so Ariana begins admitting that, she finds Sandoval so hot, yet she feels like she is not. She says she has insecurities. She goes, who wants like cellulite and thick thighs and a fat ass? And I'm like, Ariana, you are bomb. Your body is bomb. I know that there's women on this cast that are maybe Hollywood standards skinnier and all this and that. She has an amazing body to me. Hips, booty, ass girl. Honey, they're paying money for that body, okay? Love her body. Now Raquel gets emotional. And she's like, Ariana, stop it. You're so pretty. Like, she's like, she's like telling her that, like, I think we're both prettier than we think we are and like our insecurities. And she's like, it breaks my heart that Ariana has these insecurities and it translates like to her sexual life because you can't like have good sex if you're like feeling insecure, And Raquel's like, now that I'm single, I feel like sex is like so important. I'm like, yeah, sex with her boyfriend is so important to you. So I don't know. I don't know if Raquel crying in that moment was a momentary feeling of guilt and feeling like, oh my God, like I'm causing this woman to have insecurities, or if she was crying because she just, once again, was thinking about herself. Because I feel like the only times this girl cries is when she was crying about the pageants at the campsite and things like that. So I don't know. I mean, just though who does that? Like, what kind of person sits down and has that type of conversation with the friend, knowing what you're doing? It's just so sick and shady, and there's just no excuse for her. Lala also has before I move on to that, she goes, okay, so just so we're clear though, you want to stay in this relationship? Ariana's like, yes, like I want to. I think we'll talk and work it out. She's like, okay, because I know me and Jim should have broke up like 2 years before. It's like, again, she's trying to convince and talk Ariana into like, hey, you really don't want to be in this relationship. And Ariana's like, actually, I do. I love him still. So then we have Lala talks with Lisa, and Lala says she wants another baby, but she's super scared. She wants to have another baby, but she wants to make sure that her kid is 100% hers. She doesn't want to have to like have her seeing her child every day be dependent on someone else's behavior. And I felt that. But you can't just be so scared to like love again. I mean, Randall had a lot of red flags, and I understand that, she has been victimized by Randall in some ways, and her child is certainly a victim in all of this. However, there were many, many reasons, especially the way she got with him, where to say, that she shouldn't have continued in this relationship. She didn't see that. All she saw was dollar signs, because although I had listened to her podcast with Randall before, and I did think they had a pretty good rapport where I thought, okay, maybe she does really love him or whatever. But, excuse me. So, yeah, I mean, I think she just get your picker on. Just don't, she's sober now. Like, I don't think she would maybe get into something so diabolical again. But she says the next step for her is a sperm donor, and her mom will be her co-parent. And she doesn't want to put her life on hold. And honestly, I love it. I wish more people would make that. I don't know. Some people might have a problem with this, but I think making, especially depending on where you are in your life, if you want to be a parent, it sucks that you would maybe have to wait to have that partner. There's going to be challenges when you're doing it by yourself, but if you really want to have a child, I kind of like that she's like, I'm just going to do it. Financially, she can do it. She's got a support system in her mom. So to each their own. There's actually a whole, like, I don't know what the right word is, but there's like a whole world online, like on social media and different stuff about women who intentionally become single parents. So they go and have the baby on their own. I was watching some stuff on that and I thought that was neat. Sorry, I'm just like fiddling with my hair. So then Raquel, gosh, here we go, sits down with Katie and she starts off congratulating her. Katie is looking at her like, Katie can give a face. Raquel then confronts Katie about rage texting Schwartz, and apparently there was like another rumor about Tom and Raquel making out. Katie's listening. The conversation starts getting stupid. Raquel is just doubling down, saying it's none of Katie's business, and she does, I don't appreciate you keeping the dogs from him, and she's like saying all this stuff. It's almost like I feel like Tom Sandoval fed her these lines, like, make sure like when you talk to Katie that you tell her that she shouldn't be keeping the dogs from. Sorry, I'm getting text messages. You shouldn't be keeping the dogs from Tom, and just like all this stuff. And Katie loses her shit, rightfully so. Katie is like, what do you not get? This was my husband. Like, Katie is so mad. Raquel was like, well, because Katie's like, you have no empathy. You're not an empathetic person. She goes, I do have empathy. Maybe I just like don't have empathy for you. Maybe I have more empathy for Schwartz than I do for you. And then Terry chimes in, Katie's mom, and she's like, Raquel, can I ask you something? Raquel goes, what, Terry? Now, she moves on to say, Terry starts talking again, and Raquel's like, oh God. First of all, Katie pops the hell off. Lala's like, who raised you? Like, they go off on her. But I'm telling you right now, the what Terry would have got her. Who the fuck are you talking to? From me. You don't tell somebody's mom what. You don't answer somebody's mother with what. Like, what Terry? The what Terry would have been like endgame for me. But yeah, Katie ends up calling her, see you next Tuesday. It just does not end well. Then here comes Sandoval coming in to defend his girl. And he starts yelling at Terry. He's yelling at Katie. And, Schwartz is like in the background hiding from all of this. Ariana goes over there. She's listening to the girls fight and everything. And Ariana just cannot take it. And she sits with Lisa and she starts breaking down crying. She's like, it's just too much. My grandma, my dog. She's like, I can't keep up with this. I can't keep having the girls fight. And then they're fighting my boyfriend and my boyfriend's yelling at the girls. And Tom is just like digging in on them. You can hear them in the background yelling. And I actually think I heard some F-bombs and stuff. Now, Katie's brother went online and said that it was even worse, that Tom Sandoval told Katie's mom to shut the F up like 3 times, and that I guess he got in his face. I'm like, how did he end up not like knocked out, like talking to somebody's mother like that? Christina Kelly yells at Tom, like, you need to be concerned with your girlfriend over there who's crying. Now, they've all have come out and said at the time that they thought that the that the yelling, that the vitriol from Tom was because he hates Katie, but it's actually because he was defending Raquel. Katie storms off and, she passes Tom and Raquel like kind of snickers when she passes by. And Lala's like, this bitch, snickering. And Katie was like, who was snickering? So she goes back over there, grabs Tom Schwartz, and she was like, were you snickering with her? And it totally gave me like Sammy from Jersey Shore when she's like, are you friends with them? Yes or no? Are you friends with them? And somebody pointed that out online. I was like, yes, that was the same energy, because honestly, Katie was like, Was you like, I was like, wow, this is Katie from the block today. Like, Katie was not playing. So they go outside, Katie and Tom, and they go talk in the iconic Sir Alley. And then Raquel comes back outside, which is so insane. And she's trying to explain herself. And Katie's like, go away, go inside. Like, it is horrible. It's cringy. It ended horribly. Raquel looked so dumb. I don't know what she went home and told Sandoval that night, but he probably was like, yeah, babe, you know, you really handled them. And I don't know. Then Lisa gives a toast to everybody. They all come back in, calm down, give a toast. Keep in mind, this was supposed to be the season finale, but we know Sandoval breaks, so it's not the season finale. So I just think, like, again, there was just so many diabolical, I keep saying that word, I love it. I don't know what other word. I mean, it's just evil, like, these people. Just, like, it's so evil. Just, you know, like, the things that Tom's been doing, you know, and the setting up stuff, you know, he goes and he, like, when he freezes his eggs and says, like, you know, so what, we're gonna have kids when we're, like, 50, and mentions again how dismissive she is. The beach day was wild. That was, honestly, that felt like old school Vanderpump Rules. The beach day episode was so good. I watched it like a couple times. Let's see what else. Again, Allie brought some stuff to Sheena about Tom and Raquel, the Abbey, but everything just seems so normal. Like, well, we go to the Abbey, the other people were there. The whole spending the night at the house thing, all the multiple lies that Tom's told about that. And even Ariana was like, when they're at the campsite, and she was like, Raquel, like, yeah, go sleep in the guest room. Why are you sleeping on the couch? Like, she was just so trusting of him. Everyone was so trusting that there was nothing more to that. This was just Katie being jealous and being, you know, vindictive and starting rumors about them having open relationships and all these things, and just trying to kind of be miserable. And I think if it wasn't for this affair, maybe we would have thought that, and we could have said, well, editing's making it look like this or whatever the case, but they've been caught. We know the difference. And then I really just feel like people need to keep the pressure on Schwartz, because I feel like even in recent interviews, the girls are giving him a pass. Like, I think Lala's talking to him again. And it's like Schwartz knew. He made that joke about that Raquel liking taken men. And he made that joke to Brock and to Tom, knowing that they were banging at that point at the campsite. So much more to look forward to. We've got like 4 more weeks left, and I promise I'm going to be on top of my recaps now, because it's getting good. So thank you for watching. Sorry for the little interruptions and my little one. I don't know if you get to saw her face. She's so cute, but she had the little pouty face on, but she needs to go to bed because she does not like to wake up in the morning. Neither do I, but gotta do it. So anyways, thank you for watching. Like, comment, and subscribe, and let me know what you think. Like, what did you think about these conversations, multiple conversations of this Rachel talking to Ariana, pretending to be a concerned friend when she really just was a concerned mistress, making sure her man is not lying to her. So sick, like, so sick. Anyways, good night.